I stepped out of the office with my chest tight and my thoughts racing. Payday. Bonus day. The day I'd been waiting for. I pulled out my phone right there on the sidewalk, thumb shaking with excitement. Let's see it, I whispered to myself. The banking app loaded. The number glared at me, near 0. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, refreshed. Same number. Same emptiness. Same gut punch. What the hell? I muttered. My heart thudded. I scrolled through transactions. Retreat, spa, cosmetic studio, luxury wellness club? My mouth went dry. I stood frozen in the crowd, watching strangers rush past me while my world cracked open. I dialed Lena. She picked up, cheerful. Hey, babe. Did you see my story? The crystal bath was, what did you do with my bonus? My voice shook. She paused. Our bonus, you mean? No, my bonus. Months of overtime. That was mine. I did this for us, she said quickly. I invested in me, and when I grow, we grow. You spent thousands without even asking me. My throat tightened. You never invest in me, she snapped. You buy gadgets, you send money to your sister. What about me? That money was for Ava's medical bills, Lena, for debt. For our future, she sighed, long and dramatic. Future? You're always stuck in sacrifice mode. I needed this. I deserve this. I clenched my jaw. You deserved honesty. Not theft. Oh, don't be so dramatic. You'll get another bonus next year. Like my life was just a machine printing her comfort. My hands trembled. I'm coming home, I said coldly. Good, we'll talk. But stop acting like a victim. She hung up. The apartment door creaked when I stepped inside. Lena was in a silk robe holding a glass of wine. She looked me up and down, unbothered. You look pale. Sit down. I threw my keys on the table. You drained everything. I made us better. Look at me. She twirled slowly. Don't I look calmer? Healthier? You look expensive. Her eyes narrowed. Wow, always reducing me to costs. Do you know how suffocating you are? Suffocating? I work 10-hour days so you can sit in spas while I eat instant noodles at my desk. You think noodles make you a martyr? She snapped. I wanted a life that feels good, not one where I'm counting pennies like a beggar. You turned me into one tonight. My voice broke. I had plans, Lena, real ones, and you killed them with candles and cucumber water. You're pathetic when you talk like this, she hissed, always whining about struggle. No wonder your sister needs you. You're addicted to suffering. I stared at her, unable to breathe. My phone buzzed. Marcus. Yo, payday king. Drinks on you? I swallowed. Not tonight. What's wrong? My account's empty. Lena. My voice cracked. Bro, Marcus cut in. Did she spent it. I heard him curse under his breath. Pack a bag. Come crash at my place. Don't argue. Just come. Lena grabbed the phone. Marcus, stay out of this. Stay out? He barked through the speaker. You bled him dry and you want me to stay out? Hell no, I snatched my phone back. I'll call you later. I hung up. Lena crossed her arms. Running to Marcus again, typical. He loves stirring you up. No, he saves me when you drain me. She laughed bitterly. Please, you'll be back. You always crawl back. I walked to the wall where our spare key hung on a little hook. The photo of us at the beach was framed right beside it. Her smile in that picture looked fake now, like it had always been rehearsed. The key gleamed in the dim light. It didn't feel like safety anymore. It felt like a lie, I whispered, almost to myself. I can't live here tonight. What did you say? I said I can't stay. Her eyes widened. You'd leave over this? This isn't about this. It's about everything. You crossed a line you can't uncross. You'll regret walking out. No, I said quietly. I regret staying this long. I grabbed my backpack from the corner, shoved in some clothes. My hand shook as I zipped it. She called after me, her voice sharp. If you walk out that door, don't expect me waiting when you crawl back. I stopped at the doorway, looked back once. I'm not crawling anywhere. Not anymore. The hallway outside smelled of dust and old paint. Mrs. Whitlow from 4B shuffled by with her groceries. She looked at my bag, at my face, and frowned. Evening, Ethan. Rough night? I forced a nod. You could say that. Her voice softened. Love should not drain you, dear. The words hit harder than Lena's insults. My chest ached. You're right, I whispered. I walked down the stairs, each step heavier than the last, but my lungs filled with air I hadn't felt in months. I dialed Marcus again. Still have that couch? I asked. You know it, he said firmly. And beer. And noodles. Get over here, I smiled weakly. On my way. The night air hit my face as I stepped outside. Cold, sharp, but clean. For the first time in a long time, I felt like maybe I could breathe again. I slammed the bank printouts on the table. That money was for our future. Lena sipped wine and raised a brow. Self-care is our future. You're stingy, Ethan. Stingy? I broke my back for that bonus. You don't understand balance. You hoard. I bloom. I pulled out my phone and scrolled the charges again. Retreat Spa Wellness Club. Thousands gone, she smiled faintly. Every dollar was an investment. In candles and facials. In me. And you benefit when I'm radiant. I laughed bitterly. Radiant doesn't pay rent. Her phone buzzed, and she put Grace on speaker. Grace's voice poured out smooth and sharp. Ethan, let Lena breathe. You suffocate her. Grace, you don't live here. Stay out. I'm her friend. Friends care when boyfriends turn controlling. Controlling? My fists clenched. She stole my paycheck. It's not theft when you're partners, Grace said smugly. I stared at Lena. Is this what you believe too? Yes, couples share. Couples trust. Trust? You didn't ask me once. You would have said no. You always say no. I opened the banking app again and screenshot every charge. Fine. If I'm so stingy, you won't mind me asking Oliver for confirmation. Your manager? Why drag work into this? Because truth matters. I typed fast. Bonus confirmation needed. Hit send. Lena stood and walked over. She pressed a silk robe into my hands. Feel this. Smooth. This is what calm feels like. I let the fabric slide through my fingers, soft but empty. Calm doesn't need a receipt. She stepped closer, eyes wide. You're dramatic. Always building storms. No, I whispered. You're the storm. The doorbell rang. Marcus's voice shouted from the hall. Yo, open up. I unlocked the door. He stepped in, scanning the scene. You coming or not? Lena glared. Marcus again? Why do you let him poison you? Marcus barked a laugh. Poison? Lady, you drained him like a leech. Get out, she hissed. He crossed his arms. Not without him. I grabbed a duffel and started shoving in shirts. My hands shook. Lena blocked me. Stop, you're not leaving. Move, Lena. Her lips trembled, but her tone stayed sharp. If you walk out, you'll crawl back. You always do, I met her eyes. Not this time. You'll regret it. No, I said, zipping the bag. I regret staying. Marcus took the duffel. Let's go, man. Lena followed us to the door. Ethan, think. Who's going to love you like I do? Hopefully no one, I muttered. Marcus smirked. Damn right, we stepped into the hallway. The air was cooler, thinner, like freedom. Mrs. Whitlow shuffled out of her apartment with her grocery cart. She looked at me, then at my bag. Evening, Ethan. Trouble again? I forced a smile. Something like that. Her voice softened. Love should not drain you, dear. The words cracked something inside me. My eyes burned. Thank you, I whispered. Marcus nudged me. Come on. Couch is waiting. I turned back one last time. The framed photo of Lena and me still hung on the wall beside the hook. My chest tightened. The hook gleamed, empty of keys, full of lies. I whispered, mostly to myself, Goodbye. Lena's voice carried from inside. You'll be back. I stepped into the stairwell. Not this time. The door clicked shut behind me and I felt the weight lift. Slow, painful, but real. Marcus tossed me a pillow. Couch isn't much, but it's yours. I sat down, the springs creaking. Smells like coffee. And hope. He grinned. Stay as long as you need. I pulled out my wallet and stared. Bills folded, coins rattling. Pathetic. Marcus peered over. That all you got? Yeah, sad and thin. You'll figure it out. You always do, I didn't answer. Instead, I typed a message to a listing I'd seen. Room still available? Minutes later, a reply pinged. Deposit today? Move in tomorrow. Who's that? Marcus asked. Landlord, Mr. Hargrove, tiny room. You sure? No, but I can't live here forever. He shrugged. Then brave or stupid, it's yours to choose. Exhaled. Feels more stupid, Marcus smirked. Sometimes stupid is step one to freedom. I wired the deposit. My last dollars. My stomach twisted as the receipt hit my inbox. Done? Marcus asked. Yeah, I'm officially broke. Then let's drink to it. He clinked his soda can against mine. The next morning at work, Oliver stopped by my desk. His tie was crooked, his face tense. Big release Friday, he said. Be present. Yes, sir, I answered, even though my world was on fire. He leaned closer. You good? I will be. He studied me, then walked off. I swallowed hard and opened my code editor. My phone buzzed. Ava, how's payday? I typed, I'll still help. Seconds later, take care of you first, Ethan. I stared at the screen, guilt pressing on me. I typed back, I'm fine. Don't worry, but I was lying. That night, Marcus drove me to the new place. The building leaned like it had arthritis. Paint peeled from the walls like old promises. You sure this is safe? He asked. No, I admitted. He laughed. At least you're consistent. Mr. Hargrove met us at the door, keys jangling. You the new tenant? Yeah, Ethan Cole. Rent on the 1st. Don't bring trouble. Understood. He unlocked the door. The room was small, barely enough for a bed and desk. Marcus wrinkled his nose. Man, this is minimalist. It's mine, I said softly. I set my duffel on the floor. The silence pressed in. Marcus clapped my shoulder. You'll make it work. Yeah. You want me to help set up? No, I need to sit with it, he nodded. Call if you need me. When he left, the quiet deepened. I sat on the mattress, springs squealing under me. The wall was cracked, paint curling. I'm not broken, I whispered to it. The wall said nothing back, but I felt lighter. The next morning, I made instant coffee with the last packet Marcus slipped me. Bitter, but warm. I looked around the room. Bare, ugly, but mine. I texted Marcus, thanks for the couch. Thanks for the push, he replied instantly. Don't thank me. Just don't go back, I smiled faintly. I won't, my phone buzzed again. Lena, did you move out? I didn't reply. Minutes later, you'll regret it. You always do. I turned the screen face down. I whispered again, firmer this time. I'm not broken. And for once, I almost believed it. I woke before sunrise, the room cold, the air heavy. The coffee I made was cheap and bitter, but it kept me upright. The shower was colder than the coffee. I sat at my desk at work and buried myself in bug tickets. Oliver stopped at my cubicle. You're quiet today. Working, I muttered. You usually crack jokes. Not today. He studied me. You sure you're steady for Friday? I'll be ready. Good, we can't afford mistakes. I won't make one. He walked away and I forced my fingers back onto the keyboard. A chat notification popped up. Sarah King from HR. Hi, Ethan. Benefits rollover forms are due. Do you need help? I typed back, actually, when does the bonus lock? There was a pause, then her reply, already paid. You're clear. I stared at the screen. Proof, it was mine. My chest loosened for the first time in weeks. Thanks, I typed. Of course, she wrote back.
Hang in there. I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes.
One piece of truth confirmed. My phone buzzed again. Lena's story notification. Against my better judgment, I opened it. She floated in a tub of crystals, gold mask on her face. Text across the screen. I invest in my peace. My thumb hovered over reply. I typed, you invested in my future and called it peace. Then I deleted it. I tried again. You stole from me. Deleted. I set the phone down, my chest burning. Marcus called. Saw the story? Yeah, you want to clap back? I typed 3 replies. Deleted them all. Good. Fight smart, not loud. Feels like silence. Silence is strategy. I rub my temples. Sometimes I want to scream. That's what she wants. Don't give her the show. That night, I trudged up the hallway of my building. The light flickered, walls smelling of dust and age. A voice called. Hey you, I turned. A girl about my age stood by one of the doors, holding a lamp. Her hair was tied back, her expression open. You're Ethan, right? New tenant? Yeah, and you are? Jamie Brooks. Hargrove's daughter. Oh, landlord's kid. Don't worry, I'm not here to collect rent. She held out the lamp. Spare. You looked like you needed light, I blinked. Why? You walk the hall like a ghost. Made me sad, I chuckled softly. You're observant. Occupational hazard. I grew up here. I took the lamp. Thanks, I need more than light, though. I need a new life, she smiled gently. Start with a lamp. I laughed for the first time in days, the sound strange in my own throat. Back in my room, I plugged in the lamp. The yellow glow filled the cracks in the wall. For a moment, it almost felt warm. I whispered to myself, bare bones. But I'll make it, the lamp said nothing. But the silence wasn't heavy anymore. I sat on the floor of my room with my laptop open. Naming a new folder, I typed truth. Inside it, I dragged screenshots, bank PDFs, dates, notes, every charge. Every word Lena had said, I hit record on my phone. She said it was for us, I whispered. My voice sounded broken even to me. The printer at the copy shop whirred hours later. Pages slid out, crisp and cold. My hands shook as I gathered them. The cashier eyed me. You okay, man? Yeah, I lied. Back home, my phone buzzed. Grace's name lit up. You're embarrassing Lena, her DM read. I typed back, she emptied my future. A bubble appeared, then vanished. No reply. I threw the phone on the bed and pressed my palms to my eyes. A knock rattled my door. I opened it to find Mrs. Whitlow holding a tin. Cookies, she said. Sugar helps, I smiled weakly. You didn't have to. I wanted to. She set them on my desk and looked at me carefully. You've been quiet, trying not to explode. Her voice softened. Explosions rarely fix anything. Does trust come back? I asked suddenly. She thought for a moment. Sometimes it grows back different. Sometimes not at all. I nodded, throat tight. Thanks. Eat 2 before bed, she said, shuffling out. The next morning, Oliver stopped by my desk again. Ethan, he said, I'm giving you the risky module. I froze. Risky? He nodded. If you deliver this, you're back on track. And if I fail, then we all fail. But I don't think you will, I met his eyes. I will deliver. Good, he clapped my shoulder. I'm trusting you. His words sank deep. At lunch, Marcus called. What's new? I'm building a ledger. A what? A record. Proof of everything, he whistled. You going nuclear? Not yet, maybe never. But I want the option. Smart. Keep it in your back pocket. I lowered my voice. I see 2 paths, Marcus. Explode Lena's image, or rebuild mine, and I choose me. That's the one. I smiled faintly. Still, I save every receipt. Quiet power. Slow fire. That night, I spread the pages across my bed. Dates, amounts, screenshots, words. My chest ached, but my hands felt steady. I whispered into the stillness, I'm not done yet. The papers stared back, silent but sharp. For the first time, I believed they were mine. The clock on my laptop read 2:03 a.m. The red error line glared back at me. Come on, I muttered, pounding the keys. The code refused to compile. Marcus appeared in the doorway, holding a takeout bag. Still alive? Barely. It keeps breaking. He tossed noodles onto my desk. Eat. Brain needs fuel. I don't have time. You don't have a choice. I slurped the noodles, fingers greasy, eyes burning. This release will kill me, he leaned against the wall. Or make you. Feels like both. The screen flashed green. The fix held. My chest thundered. Marcus grinned. See? Food works miracles. Or luck. Give yourself credit. You did that. I leaned back, exhausted. I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's tomorrow, he said. Technically. At dawn, Oliver's message lit up my screen. You pulled it off. Good work. I stared at the words. My throat tightened. Marcus slapped my shoulder. Told you. Made you? Not killed you? Not yet. When I stepped outside, rain poured down, washing the street clean. The world looked new, like it was starting over. Jamie's voice called from a porch across the way. Victory walk? I looked up, startled. She waved, holding an umbrella. Barely survived, I admitted, shrugging. Survived is step 1, she said. I walked closer. Step 2? Living, she smiled. But one thing at a time. Her words sank deep, warmer than the rain. That evening I laced up cheap sneakers and ran. My lungs burned, my legs screamed, but I kept going. Back at the mirror, sweat dripping, I looked myself in the eye. I am not the man who pleads, I whispered. For once I believed it. My phone buzzed. Lena, can you co-sign a lease? The spa has a partnership. Big opportunity. I stared at the text, anger flaring. I typed back, no. Seconds later, her reply came sharp. You owe me support. I put the phone face down on the desk. My chest rose and fell hard, but steady. No. I whispered aloud, stronger this time. The word echoed in the empty room, firm and final. It felt like mine. Grace's message buzzed on my phone first. The retreat scammed her. Upcharges everywhere, I typed back, not my problem, another ping. Her wellness club wants more fees too. She's stressed, I exhaled. She made her bed. Later, Marcus dropped by with groceries. You seen her posts lately? No, why? He pulled up his phone. Lena stood beside some guy, sunglasses, perfect teeth, arm draped over her shoulder. Dean Parker, Marcus said. That dude screams trouble, I frowned. Looks like a salesman. Or a shark. Either way, bad news. I stared at the photo too long. My chest burned. Marcus nudged me. Don't spiral. She's not your storm anymore. I know, I whispered. That night, my phone lit up with Lena's call. Against my better judgment, I answered. Her voice was sharp. If you don't help me, I'll tell people you abused me financially. I stayed calm. I have records, silence stretched. You kept receipts? She asked finally. All of them. Her breath caught. You wouldn't dare. I don't need to. The truth stands on its own. She hung up. I opened my voice memo app and whispered, I don't need revenge. I need peace. Still, I prepared. I gathered every document into a timeline, clear, orderly, in case her threats reached work. The next morning, I knocked on Oliver's office door. He glanced up. Yeah? I might have some outside stress coming. He leaned back. Personal? Yes, it could spill. He studied me. You documenting? Yes. Then keep boundaries. Don't let it bleed in here. I'm trying. You'll manage. You're steadier than you think, I nodded. Thank you. Walking back to my desk, I whispered under my breath, I'm learning how. And for the first time, I believed it. I dug through the shoebox under my bed, looking for spare change. Instead, I found an envelope. My dad's handwriting. I unfolded the paper, heart pounding. Son, don't spend years fixing people who broke themselves. I sat on the floor, eyes wet. You knew, Dad, you knew. My phone rang. Ava's name lit the screen, I answered. Hey, sis, her voice shook. My landlord raised rent again. I can't cover it, my chest tightened. I've got you. You can't afford it. I'll figure it out. Don't worry, she sniffled. I hate asking. You're not asking. I'm offering. You're all I have, and you're all I've got. We'll be fine. The next day I begged Oliver for extra shifts, he frowned. You sure? You look exhausted. I need the hours, he studied me. Fine, but pace yourself. I will. Nights blurred. I skipped dinners out, lived on noodles. I counted coins at the corner store, embarrassed. Jamie caught me one evening in the hall, juggling a bag of groceries. You look like a man doing math in his head, she said. I am. Pennies and pride. She tilted her head. Want me to sell you this lamp? $5. I blinked. Lamp? She pointed to the one she'd given me earlier. I have extras. Let me feel useful. I pulled 6 crumpled bills from my pocket and handed them over. Keep the change, she laughed softly. Show off. I smiled for the first time that week. That night, back in my room, I opened my phone and started typing to Lena. You hurt me. You lied, you drained me. You made my future disappear one withdrawal at a time. The words spilled fast. You gaslit me. You mocked me. You called me stingy when I was feeding us both. I kept typing, paragraphs, pages. My fingers ached. At the end, I wrote, I don't forgive you. I don't hate you either. I'm just done. I stared at it. My thumb hovered over send, but I didn't press it. I deleted the draft, and for the first time, I didn't feel weaker for staying silent. I felt stronger. In the morning, I carried the photo frame of me and Lena to the thrift store down the block. The cashier took it without a glance. Walking back, I looked at the empty hook on my wall where the frame used to hang. I whispered, Stay empty. The hook glinted in the light. Bare, honest, and for once it didn't hurt. Oliver caught me in the lobby before the event. You ready for the demo? I tugged my cheap suit straight. As ready as this fits, he smirked. Cheap suits fit like promises. Just deliver. I will. The ballroom glowed with chandeliers. Tables lined with donors, wine glasses clinking. I clutched my laptop bag like a shield. At the buffet, a familiar laugh froze me. Lena, she floated in wearing silver heels. Dean Parker glued to her side, all teeth and sunglasses indoors. I muttered, "You've got to be kidding." She spotted me and beelined over. Dean followed, smirking. "Ethan," she cooed. "Perfect timing. What are you doing here?" I asked, jaw tight. "Networking. My studio needs donors. Uninvited?" "Invited enough." She leaned close. "Tell them we're solid." "They trust you." I shook my head. "We're done." Her smile cracked. "Don't embarrass me." Dean slid between us. "Be a gentleman, pal." I met his stare. "Gentle doesn't mean blind," he muttered, low. "You'll regret this." I didn't flinch. "Not half as much as she will." I turned back to Lena. "You took what I saved for family." Her chin lifted. "It was my turn." "You turned it into a debt." Her hand twitched, glass trembling. "You're cruel." "No," I said. "I'm honest." Oliver waved from the stage. "Ethan, you're up!" I walked past Lena without another glance. My hands didn't shake. At the podium, I opened the demo. My voice carried steady. I showed the feature, answered questions, smiled even when my throat wanted to close. When the last slide faded, applause filled the room. I stood taller. For once, my voice hadn't cracked. My hands were steady, and Lena's glitter finally looked like dust. Marcus burst into my room, waving his phone. "You seen this?" I looked up from my laptop. "What now?" Dean Parker exposed. Dude's no partner, just a salesman pushing fake wellness packages. Whole scheme blew up. I blinked. "So he was a con?" "Full con. Took money from half the city." I leaned back, exhaling. And Lena hitched her wagon to him. Marcus smirked. Her glow's cracking. My phone buzzed nonstop. Grace's post filled the screen. I didn't know. "I'm sorry. I should have seen the signs. A vague apology, no names." "Cowardly," I muttered. "Too late, Grace." Then Lena's message appeared. "I messed up. I missed the way you used to look at me." I stared at it, heart heavy. I typed, "I forgive you." "I won't return." I hit send. Seconds later, her call came through. I answered. Her voice trembled. "Ethan, please. Can we start over?" I looked at the wall at the empty hook where our photo once hung. "I'm starting over," I said. "Just not with you." Her breath hitched. "So that's it?" "That's mercy." Silence. Then the line clicked dead. I sat for a while, letting the quiet hold me. No rage, no storm, just the weight lifting. I pulled up my banking app, transferred Ava her rental deposit. My chest eased when her reply came. "Thank you, Ethan. I can breathe again." I texted back, "Breathe. That's all I want for you." Later that evening, I knocked on Mrs. Whitlow's door with a paper bag. She opened it, eyebrows raising. "Tea? Your favorite." She smiled softly.
You didn't have to. I wanted to. She patted my hand.
"You're healing, dear." "I'm trying." Crossing the street, I spotted Jamie carrying groceries. She caught my eye and grinned. "Long day?" she asked. "Long month." She tilted her head. "But you look lighter." "Maybe I am." She smiled wider. "Then keep going." I stood there for a moment, streetlight glowing above me, cool night air brushing my face. For the first time in a long time, I felt something close to peace. Not loud. Not showy, just quiet, real. Mr. Hargrove slid the lease across his desk. "Sign here, son." I gripped the pen, heart steady for once. "Done." He looked at the paper, then at me. "Solid tenant. Pay on time, no noise. You'll get both." He shook my hand. "Good. Welcome to stability." I carried a small plant to my room, set it by the window. Sunlight hit the leaves, green and alive. I whispered, "Promise kept." Minutes later, Marcus barged in with a toolbox. "Where's the patient?" I pointed at the door. "The lock." He cracked his knuckles. "New lock day." "You sure you're ready?" "More than ready." We unscrewed the old one together, the metal groaning. Marcus cursed at a stripped screw. "Worse than your ex," I laughed. "Bad screw, worse ex," he grinned. "Man, you're healing if you can joke." "Maybe." He handed me the screwdriver. "Finish it." I twisted the last bolt, slid the new lock into place, and clicked it shut. Marcus whistled. Fresh start. New lock, I said firmly. When he left, I sat at my desk and opened my notebook. I wrote one final note I'd actually keep. I choose a life where I ask before I take and leave before I break. I closed the notebook. This time, no tearing, no deleting. Kept. My phone buzzed. Oliver's name flashed, I answered. Yes, boss? Promotion's yours, he said. You earned it. My chest tightened. Thank you, truly. Don't thank me. You did the work. After we hung up, I texted Sarah King, confirming promotion details. She replied quick. All set? Congrats, Ethan. I snapped a photo of the plant by the window and sent it to Jamie. Her reply came fast. Looks like home, I smiled. Yeah, it does. The wall hook where Lena's photo once hung still stood empty. I stared at it. I whispered, You'll stay that way. Inside my chest, something clicked. A new lock. A new key, and for once it was mine.